Okay, so today we will discuss the SQL command regarding SQL command. तो SQL command basically कमांड डिपेंड होता है डिफरेंट डीबीएमएस लैंग्वेज के ऊपर, जैसे डेटा डेफिनेशन लैंग्वेज, डेटा मैनिपुलेशन लैंग्वेज ऑलरेडी हमने कर लिया था। एंड और भी होता है जैसे डेटा कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज एंड transaction control language. Okay, so data definition language already we know that it is used to specify a database schema as a set of definition which is expressed in a DDL. Okay, so DDL statement basically compile करता है क्या कि एक set of table जो स्टोर जिसके अंदर स्टोर होता है सम स्पेशल फाइल, ठीक है। और आप ऐसे बोल सकते हो कि DDL statement is a resulting in a set of table stored in a special file which is called a data dictionary or data directory. Okay. So basically database system जो डेटा डेफिनेशन लैंग्वेज स्पेसिफाई करता है वो क्या होता है, वन टाइप ऑफ टेबल होता है, एक डिक्शनरी होता है और उसके अंदर क्या होता है कि डेटा आर स्टोर्ड and the data dictionary contains metadata, means what is the information of data about data. Okay. So data definition language is the storage structure and which access the methods used by the database system which are specified by a set of definitions in a special type of DDA, which is called a data storage and the definition language. Okay, so basically data definition language हम SQL कमांड में क्या उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन रहता है, कैसे उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करता है कि यूजिंग the command like create, alter, drop, then transcat and rename. Okay, so these are the different data definition languages. And create means we will create a table in database. Okay, using data definition language. So create is a command. Okay, so first of all we will create a table. Okay, alter means what? Alter means if we want to change the data type in a table, then how we will change that? So this is defined by alter command. Okay. And drop means drop is what means if अगर वहाँ पे टेबल में से कोई भी स्ट्रक्चर को हटाना हो, ठीक है, you don't need that structure definition, then the drop condition will be executed. And what about the transcat? Transcat means स्ट्रक्चर जो डेटा बेस टेबल है उसके स्ट्रक्चर में अगर कोई डेटा को चेंज करना हो तब ट्रांसलेट कमांड यूज होता है। ओके, रीनेम मीन्स स्ट्रक्चर का नेम अगर चेंज करना पड़े तो उस केस में रीनेम यूज होता है। सो data definition language basically gives the resultant of a set of table which is stored in a special file which is called data dictionary. Okay, and already we have discussed that the data dictionary contains what? It contains the metadata, means data about the data. And data definition language SQL command use करता है कौन सा create, alter, drop, translate and rename. Okay, so this is about data definition language. Okay, and what about data manipulation language? डेटा मैनिपुलेशन लैंग्वेज मीन्स यहाँ ये पता चल रहा है कि डेटा मैनिपुलेशन लैंग्वेज इज अ लैंग्वेज दैट enables user to access or manipulate data as organized by the appropriate data model. The types of access are retrieval of information stored in a database, insertion of new information into the database, deletion of information from the database, modification of information stored in the database. So basically, data manipulation means we will manipulate the data. How we will manipulate the data? Either there will be select operation, insertion, deletion, and updation will be there. Okay, so manipulation means how we will retrieve the information from the database. Insertion of new information into the database, either deletion of information in the database and modification of information in the database. Okay, so these are the operations. Data manipulation language, there is one operation select. Select means already we have told in different SQL SQL command that there is select. First of all, we have to select the condition. Okay, means we have to retrieve the data from the database. Okay, then insertion means insert. We have if is there any insert data into a database table or not. अगर वहाँ पे कोई ऐसा condition आ जाए कि we have to insert the new information into the database. Okay, in that case, how we will insert the data into the database table that is represented by insert. Next is update. Update means update the existing data into a database. And delete means how delete all the record from the table. Okay. Delete information means modification of information into the database. So these are the four instruction or four methodology in data manipulation language: select, insert, update, and delete. Okay. So we can see that database manipulation, data manipulation language is which enables user to access and manipulate the data. Okay. So goal of the data manipulation language is to provide the efficient human interaction with the system. And there are, you can say there are two type of DM, data manipulation language. एक तो होता है आपका procedural और एक होता है non-procedural. Okay, so procedural DML requires a user to specify what are the needed and how to get those data. And declarative DMLs or you can say that non-procedural DMLs क्या करता है कि also referred to as non-procedural DMLs require to user to specify what data are needed without specifying how to get those data. Okay, so basically non-procedural means the user only specifies what data is needed. Okay, so it is easier for the user it may not generate the code as efficient as that produced data by procedural language. Okay. So, query language, आप कह सकते हो, it is a portion of uh, DML, data manipulation language, which involve the information retrievals only. Okay, and the ये भी आप बोल सकते हो कि DML and the query language ये क्या होता है कि ये synonymously काम करता है, ठीक है। तो DML मेनली आपका एज ए क्वेरी लैंग्वेज यूज होता है, क्यों? क्योंकि वहाँ पे आप क्या क्या ऑपरेशन कर रहे हो कि सिलेक्शन, इंसर्शन, अपडेशन, डिलीशन, okay, which are the which enables the user access the manipulate data. So manipulation is conducted by this operation: selection, insertion, deletion, and updation. So first of all, we have seen the data definition language and data manipulation language, and what are the SQL command are used in that. That also we have already seen. Okay. डेटा डेफिनेशन लैंग्वेज में हमने देखा क्रिएट, ऑल्टर, ड्रॉप, देन ट्रांसलेट, रीनेम, these are the command used in DDL, and DML में हमने देखा select, insert, how to update and how to delete. Okay. Okay. अच्छा, तो नेक्स्ट आता है हमारा SQL कमांड, कैसे हम डेटा कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज में उसका यूज करते हैं। तो डेटा कंट्रोल मीन्स कि हाउ टू प्रिविलेज द डेटा। ओके, मीन्स कैसे हम डेटा के ऊपर प्रिविलेज कर सकते हैं, वो हम डेटा कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज से स्पेसिफाई करते हैं। वहाँ पे आपका कमांड यूज होता है ग्रांट एंड रिवोक। ओके, ग्रांट मीन्स how allow the specified user to perform the specified task, and revoke means if there is the condition that we have to cancel the previous granted data, then we will use the revoke command. Okay, means revoke is used for cancelling the previous granted or derived permission. Okay. Or the permission which is already present there, and we want to deny that permission, then revoke command is used in data control language. Okay, and next is next SQL command is transaction control language. Transaction control language it provides the ACID property. ACID property means वहाँ पे क्या होगा कि atomicity, what is the consistency, this is defined, and what is the isolation technique, durability, okay, for that database. So transaction control language is used to manage the uh, manage the changes which is made by the data manipulation language. And also it is allowed to group together the logical instruction. Okay, so transaction कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज क्या करता है कि मैनेज करता है जितने भी सारे चेंजेस हुआ होगा डेटा मैनिपुलेशन लैंग्वेज के थ्रू, उसको कैसे मैनेज किया जाए और उसको उसके उसको कैसे मार्ज किया जाए या फिर ग्रुप किया जाए डिफरेंट लॉजिकल इंस्ट्रक्शन में, वो ट्रांजैक्शन कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज प्रोवाइड करता है। सो जो कि ट्रांजैक्शन प्रॉपर्टीज है उसको एसिड प्रॉपर्टी भी कहा जाता है, जहाँ पे एसिड प्रॉपर्टी क्या है कि हाउ the transaction process will be done using atomicity, consistency, and there is isolation and durability. Okay, so transaction control mainly refers how to collect the operation in a single logical unit form. So atomicity means where the transaction must be atomic. Okay, and atomicity ensure that the either all the operation of the transaction are reflected properly in the database or not. Okay. Consistency means there will be some consistency constraint. ओके कि ट्रांजैक्शन एग्जीक्यूशन के पहले कैसा उसका रिजल्ट आ रहा था और आफ्टर ट्रांजैक्शन एग्जीक्यूशन के रिजल्ट कैसे आ रहे, बिफोर द एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ द ट्रांजैक्शन एंड आफ्टर द एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ द ट्रांजैक्शन द रिजल्ट विल बी इक्वल. Okay, so consistency of a database state the transaction before the transaction and after the transaction, whatever the database execution, that will remain constrained or not. Okay, so this is the constraint control languages, which is basically based on the transaction performed in the database, and if there is some changes required in means changes happen in data manipulation language, transaction control language also manage the change of DML and also allow to group together the logical instruction. Okay. Next transaction property like isolation. Isolation means when the multiple transactions are executing isolation told what? Isolation told when the multiple transactions are executing concurrently, then each the transaction is unaware of other transaction executing concurrently in the system. Okay, so means that execution of one transaction must not interfere with the another. Okay, so isolation means हर एक ट्रांजैक्शन अपने आप एक टास्क परफॉर्म करेगा और वहाँ पे एक ट्रांजैक्शन एग्जीक्यूशन होगा तो वो बाकी सारे ट्रांजैक्शन के ऊपर कोई इंटरफेयर नहीं कर सकता. Okay. And durability means कि whatever the changes applied to the database by performing the transaction, that must be made the permanent. Okay, means if the system also fails, the transaction, whatever the transaction made, that will not affect by the system. ओके, तो जो भी परफॉर्मेंस वहाँ पे एग्जीक्यूट होगा, जितने भी चेंजेस वहाँ पे अप्लाइड है, वो वहाँ पे क्या होगा, वो परमानेंट होगा, मतलब वहाँ पे कोई चेंजेस अलाउ नहीं होगा, ठीक है। और अगर सिस्टम फेल भी हो जाए तब भी उस केस में डेटा का कोई मॉडिफिकेशन नहीं होगा, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड ड्यूरेबिलिटी. So transaction state may be active, partially committed, aborted, committed, failed. तो ये different transaction state हो सकता है. So basically transaction control language is defining the acid property, which told how the transaction will be atomistic, and how the transaction is perform the consistency, durability, isolation. Okay. So this transaction control language provide executed by some SQL command like commit, rollback, save point. Okay, so these are the transaction control language command. Commit means how to permanently save any transaction into the database. That will shown by commit command कि परमानेंटली ट्रांजैक्शन कोई भी ट्रांजैक्शन एक डेटाबेस में कैसे स्टोर किया जाए. rollback means कि how how will restore the database to the last committed state. How to restore the database to the last committed state, that will be defined by rollback, and it is also used to save point command to jump to a save point in a transaction. So rollback basically how we can restore the database if there is required. सो कमांड बेसिकली यहाँ पे DDL एंड DML के बारे में ही बोला गया है. ट्रांजैक्शन कंट्रोल एंड डेटा कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज के भी कुछ कमांड होता है जो कि SQL में यूज किया जाता है, वो हम लोग थोड़ा डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. अच्छा, तो ट्रांजैक्शन कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज में तो कमिट, नेक्स्ट होता है रोल बैक, एंड थर्ड इज सेव पॉइंट. सेव पॉइंट मीन्स कि सेव पॉइंट मीन्स जैसे कि क्या होता है, कोई सॉफ्टवेयर आप डाउनलोड करो तो वहाँ पे आफ्टर 90% डाउनलोड वो अगर मतलब कोई भी नेटवर्क इशू हो, ठीक है, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम ऑफर, तो उस केस में हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि वो सॉफ्टवेयर डाउनलोड हुआ कि नहीं वो कैसे चेक करें. तो वहाँ पे क्या होगा, रिस्टोर होगा कि नहीं, या फिर से जब नेट एक्सेस रहेगा उस टाइम में आपको फिर से उसको डाउनलोड करना पड़ेगा. तो ये सारा चीज हम कैसे रिस्टोर कर सकते हैं कि सेव पॉइंट क्या करता है कि आफ्टर सपोज कि 20% और 30% डाउनलोड हुआ, तो हाउ वी विल सेव दैट पोर्शन ओनली, ठीक है, that will be defined by save point. So save point means after 20 or 30%, how the data we can store. Okay, save point is used to temporarily save the transaction so that we can roll back to the point whenever necessary. Okay. So transaction control language basically performs the command like commit, rollback, save point. Commit, rollback, save point. The commit means permanently save any transaction into the database. Rollback means restore the database to the last committed state. कि कैसे हम डेटाबेस को रिस्टोर कर सकते हैं. And save point means if there the transaction may be break. Okay, so in that case, save point is used to temporarily save the transaction so that we can roll back to the point whenever necessary. Okay. Okay, next is the SQL command में constraint. Constraint क्या है कि primary key, foreign key, check, unique, default, not null. These are the constraint in data definition language. Primary key, you already know the concept of primary key. What? Primary key is a candidate key which is chosen by the database designer as the principal means of defining entities within an entity set. Okay, so primary key एक candidate key होगा जो कि एक database designer choose करेगा. Okay, so this is the transaction. This constraint used in SQL command. What is the primary key? Foreign key. Foreign key. Also, you know the concept of foreign key. Foreign key क्या करता है कि primary key को जो refer करता है. The foreign key is an attribute or the set of attributes that refer to the primary key of same table or another table. Okay. So, which maintain the referential integrity. Okay. So, basic point is for foreign key is that how to maintain the referential integrity. Means referential integrity means same value for the database. Okay. And these are the constraints used in SQL command. So you have to know about that. Okay. So today we will know what are the SQL commands like डेटा डेफिनेशन लैंग्वेज में क्या क्या कमांड यूज होता है, डेटा मैनिपुलेशन लैंग्वेज में क्या क्या कमांड यूज होता है, डेटा कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज, ट्रांजैक्शन कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज. ओके, सो डेटा डेफिनेशन लैंग्वेज में होता है क्रिएट, ऑल्टर, ड्रॉ, ट्रांसक्रिप्ट, रीनेम. Okay. So these are the data definition language delete, and data control language में grant means how to allow a specified user to perform specified tasks. Okay. And revoke means cancel the previously generated or denied permissions. And transaction control language mainly prefer the ACID properties. ACID properties means transaction means the property how there is perform accuracy, consistency, durability, isolation. Okay, so these are the procedure in transaction control language, and mainly if there is some changes made by the data manipulation language, then we allow to group together the logical instruction, and that is defined by transaction control language. And means command for SQL command transaction control language is commit, rollback, and save point. Commit is for permanently save the transaction into the database. Rollback is used to restore the database to the last committed state, and save point is used but if there is temporarily कोई ट्रांजैक्शन ब्रेक हो जाता है तो उस केस में जहां तक वो डेटा एक्सेस हुआ है या फिर जहां तक उसका ट्रांजैक्शन प्रोसेस हुआ है वहां तक का डेटा कैसे हम स्टोर कर सकते हैं जो कि नेसेसरी डेटा है, ठीक है, तो उसको हम कैसे सेव कर सकते हैं, तो यूजिंग सेव पॉइंट कमांड हम ट्रांजैक्शन कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज में वो सेव किया जा सकता है. एंड डिफरेंट कंस्ट्रेंट SQL command each primary key, what is the foreign key, check, unique, default, not null. Not null means not null is also constraint, means mandatory field, which is you have to perform mandatorily. जैसे कि मीन्स जैसे कि आप लोग फॉर्म भरते हो ना तो वहाँ पे होता है क्या स्टूडेंट का नेम रोल तो वो मैंडेटरी फील्ड उसको आप कीप नहीं कर सकते जो कि कोई भी नल वैल्यू नहीं हो सकती वो मैंडेटरी फील्ड. ठीक है, so these are the constraint which are used in SQL command. We have to know about that. Okay. So this is for today's class.